One seed, Sung Ji-hyun, nearest to us, will get this final underway against the left-handed Sayaka Takahashi of Japan. Now, just coming back to what I was saying there, Judith, I mean, you know both these players. I know you haven't played against them, but you've watched them, you know their styles, and you're heavily involved in coaching nowadays. So, how do you expect this to go? I'm a great believer that Takahashi is a player who likes to attack. Is that what you think?
Yeah, I see it a little bit the same. I've seen both players, of course. I'm still following the circuit, and as I said, last year I saw Takahashi play. I was really impressed. At this moment there's a whole bunch of younger players coming up, and it's really good to see that the level is just stepping up all the time. I think that Sung has a really good chance of winning because he's a little bit more experienced than Takahashi. But yeah, it's a little bit, I think in the beginning it will see who controls the nerves a little bit best, and I think it could be a long one, this one.
Yeah, me too. I agree with that. I hope it's a long one. I'd love to see 3 games here.
I did for sure go all in, and it will be long rallies from the start, as we can also see now already.
Oh, it's just long. Well, you talk about the youngsters coming up in women's singles. I think women's singles is probably one of the most exciting disciplines, or the most exciting discipline in badminton at the moment, because I think we've got so many different nations and Japanese youngsters. You know, it's a discipline that we've talked for years has been dominated by Chinese players, and now we've got youngsters from Korea, from Taipei, from Japan, from India, good youngsters from Europe as well, with Karolina Marin. I think it's a very exciting time. Yeah, also when like I said, I still follow the tournaments, of course, and you see new names popping up. I also think it's really good to see that almost all countries have at least one good player, and for example Thailand, they were also, I think, with 2 or 3 players here. Yeah, it's especially good to see that all nations can compete, and it's not just the Chinese dominating as it was for some years ago. Yeah, well, you look at the draw here at the Yonex German Open, and by semi-final stage, all 4 players coming from different nations. Now, that's very healthy indeed. Same thing happened at the World Championships last year in Guangzhou, didn't it? True, true. First time ever at World Championships we've had 4 players on the podium from 4 different nations in women's singles. Now it's nicely done. I sometimes think that Sung Ji-hyun is a little bit slow to start. I thought in her semi-final yesterday against Jindapon of Thailand, yet another one of those young Thailand players that you were talking about, I thought she was a little bit sluggish to get into her rhythm, and sometimes when she lunges forward she looks a little bit stiff in her movement. True. I also think she's a little bit a slow starter. I followed some of her matches, and it's like she needs a little bit of time to get used to the pace, get used to the court. But yeah, we also know that when she's warm, then she's really all in, and I love to see her play. It's great technique. The way she moves is incredible. I don't know if you remember her mother. You're probably far too young to... I can't remember, no. Kim Yun-ya, it's just extraordinary because it's like a mirror image. They move in exactly the same way. It's incredible. And of course her mother not only won the singles in 1986, she won the doubles as well. As well. With Yu Sang-hee. I remember them all too well. Oh, that's lovely. Well, Sung doesn't like the call. Looked to the umpire, then looked at her coach. Her coach said no, it was in, so she gave a little nod. Yeah.
Great.
And already we're seeing this attacking style that I just love to watch with Takahashi.
It's amazing. He's so precise in the shots, and every time you know she's dangerous, she has a little bit of time and she knows exactly what she wants and she can put them exactly on the lines.
That's clever play from Sung Chi-hyung. Yeah, that's brilliant. You know, I was just watching both players' movement in that rally as we go to the mid-game interval with a 4-point advantage to the number 6 seed, Sayaka Takahashi, just 6 minutes played. And Judith, it really is quite remarkable. You know, it's such a contrast in the movement. Takahashi seems such a busy player on court.
True. I think the Korean girl also, when she's moving, it's so controlled. It's like it's automatic. She knows exactly what to do. She knows exactly which movement she wants. And it's, if you compare it, then our Japanese player Takahashi is a little bit more jumpy.
Yes.
From style.
Yeah. So both coaches take leave of the court. Park Tae-sang from Korea.
11-7. 3.
That's delightful. Absolutely delightful. And the big key there, taking the shuttle early, coming from above the shuttle, then you've got the options. You can play the little block as she did, or you can push hard, play to the back of the court. That's brilliant.
Fantastic shot.
Good disguise, acute angle. Dear me. And then wants to change the shuttle. Shuttle couldn't have got damaged with that low serve, surely.
That was the problem for sure.
Yeah, that's not a winning shuttle. I'll get rid of that. Just one. Well, of course, 12 months ago, Sayaka Takahashi was an absolute sensation here at the German Open because she put out the number 1 seed and reigning Olympic champion Li Shuai in 3 games in the quarter-final stage. I wonder if she's going to cause a sensation again by winning the title. Obviously likes it here.
I would say anything's possible in this match. I think it's really nice to see that they're really fighting. The one who gets the attack, that's what the game they want to play. And they're fighting to keep the attack or to win the attack again. It's really good.
Just long. Well, I've been talking about the slight drift in this arena. As we look down on the court, shuttle has been all week flying a little bit quicker, going towards that far side. But I've been talking to all the players, and they have to say, they've been saying that, quite frankly, this is probably some of the best playing conditions that they ever play in. They've all been extremely happy with the setup of the arena here, and they say it's very little drift, minimal.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. Of course, we had a team match here before, and some of the courts were already laid out, so we already tested it. Also, of course, for a big event like this, it's always good when we have a testing event before. And I must say that there was little problems. Of course, there's a little drift, but I think that's in most arenas. But then this is, I think they can handle it pretty good if you're used to the conditions in Asia.
Yeah. And of course you're going to have a drift in any stadium, any big building. There's going to be a natural flow of air currents, and when there's a crowd in, warm air rises, and so there's going to be a slight movement. I don't think you'll find a stadium anywhere in the world that doesn't have a little bit of drift.
No, that's true.
Oh, that's brilliant. Fantastic shot.
She's made a few winners with that one.
Now entering the critical stage of this opening game. Oh yeah. Well, that round the head cross-court shot has been absolutely lethal so far. No, I haven't seen that. I do wonder if the drift has changed just slightly. There's a couple of them that have gone long this near side of the court. Well, not surprising, she's not happy with herself. Error on serve at this stage. That's an absolute gift to your opponent. Ooh, just missed it. Wide by a whisker. It's gone wide. It's quite obvious the tension. Both players acutely aware of how important this opening game is.
A few easy mistakes from both sides actually in the last few points.
Yeah. That's nice. Good rally. Oh, good defence too. It's gone wide and long.
Important point for Sung.
17-19.
Well, the attacking play, once again from Takahashi, having the desired effect. And now 3 game point opportunities. It's gone long, converts on her first game point, 21-17 in 16 minutes of play. Always ahead from the very first rally onwards, Takahashi. Oh my goodness, that was close. What a great call by the line judge. It was long by a whisker. So confirmation of the opening game, 21-17. And the number 6 seed, Takahashi, is 1 game away from emulating her sister in the first final of the day and taking a title here at the German Open. Shoji Sato of Japan, Japanese coach, former #1 men's singles player from his home country. And he was always a very fast player on court. Oh my goodness me, like lightning. So the number 6 seed, Sayaka Takahashi of Japan, 1 game to the good, 21-17 that opening game. Was never behind, always in the lead. There was a couple of occasions where Sun Ji-hyun caught back up. And the opening point in game number 2 goes to the number 1 seed. It's lovely.
Good shot.
Yeah, and there you can see the difference in the speed of the shuttle from one end to the other. That one holding up. Now, I was having a very interesting discussion over breakfast in our hotel with the Japanese team, and we were all racking our brains about siblings who have won events at the same tournaments, but different disciplines. We've got a number of players who are siblings who play together. Of course, Marcus Kido and Pierre Bernadette from Indonesia in the mixed doubles. We've got Liu Yu and Liu Ying from China, the twin sisters who play women's doubles together. But we couldn't think of any player. We did actually, I got very excited about Petra Overzia. and Birgit Michels, because I discovered that Petra Overzea had won the Norwegian Open in 2004, and then I realised that her younger sister had won the same tournament a year later. It wasn't the same year. Anyway, the only ones we've come up with are the Sadek brothers, Misbah Sadek in the men's singles, and Razif and Jelani Sadek winning the men's doubles. Couldn't think of anyone else.
I can't remember anyone, actually.
No. So history could be made here today. If Takahashi can win this, but it hasn't been the best of starts to the second game. Maybe that's a bit unfair. Maybe it's a very good start by Sung Ji Hyung to the second game.
Yeah, it looks like she's... Yep.
Cool, good. Well, I've got a wonderful view of that line from where I'm sitting. I wasn't wholly convinced. That said, I have to say, this week, Judith, I've been watching all the line judges, and I've rarely seen a mistake. They've been very, very good court officials as far as line judging is concerned.
There haven't been many errors, that's true.
No.
I've also been overviewing a little bit, and of course it's also normal that some mistakes happen, but I must say there's been rarely any mistakes this week.
Very, very good. Nice idea, wrong execution.
Looks like Sung is stepping up the pace a little bit.
Pace of movement or pace of shot?
Both, I guess. She's trying to take more control of the game, and like I said before, it's both of them really want to try and have the attack, and she also knows that if she's one step behind, then Takahashi had some really great shots, and she made some direct points also with it. Some good winners like this one, for example.
Yeah. Well, they always say the best form of defence is attack, and if you want to stop Takahashi attacking you, then presumably Sung Ji Hyung has got to get on the offensive herself.
True. Will be interesting to see who gets attack first.
Oh, that was amazing. Well, how many times have we seen so far in this final that winning shot from around the head cross court from the left-handed Takahashi? It's 4-7. Oh, it's going wide. That's careless. It's interesting you talking about, you know, right at the start of the match, you said, well, Sung Ji Hyung, she's more experienced, so maybe she's the favourite. Of course, she's higher ranked of the two players, but also with the experience and the expectation, there's a burden of expectation if you're expected to win. You know, you come to tournaments, it's very different when you're an up-and-coming youngster. You've experienced that. Then all of a sudden, when you were the leading player from your home nation, and everybody's expecting you to deliver the whole time, it's a whole different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you can also see people expect the #1 seed. She's so high on the world ranking, she should win, or people say she will win. It's a completely different situation, and we still have to remember she's only 22 years old.
Exactly.
Good results, of course, so far, but I think it's also difficult. So you never know what they're thinking, but to be in the role of the favorite is always a little bit different than to be the upcoming, and like Takahashi's the #6 seed. So she will go in more freely, I guess.
Yeah. I have to say, I thought that was a big factor in yesterday's men's singles match with home player Mark Schwiebler, the reigning European champion, trying to become the first ever home winner of the men's singles at the German Open. And I thought he looked very nervous against Wittinghus, and I thought the burden of expectation was perhaps getting to him. So it does play on players' minds, there's no doubt about it.
Definitely, it also affected him. I had a little chat with him yesterday and he was really disappointed. He also said directly that Hans Christian Wittinghus played a really great match, and he didn't make any mistakes. And Mark said, even if I would have played my very, very best, then it would have been difficult to beat him at that stage.
Yeah. Well, that's very sporting. Well, as you were saying, I think Sang Ji-hyun more into her rhythm now. So as the coaches leave the court and go and sit in the coach's chair at the back, I want to put you on the spot, Judith, with your coach's hat on. Now, if you were advising Sayaka Takahashi right now, if you had been in Soji Sato's position of being able to talk to her, what would you have been advising?
I would probably say to her that she, of course, has to play her own game, because she knows what she's doing. She just needs to win the attack. I think I would advise her maybe to play a little bit more at the net. I think she's using the net not enough to get the lift. And then, yeah, we've seen all the amazing shots she has from the backcourt when she has time. I think I would definitely say to her, try and win the net first. Get to the net, win that rally, and then you get the lift. And then from there on, yeah, she has all possibilities.
Yeah. In which case, would you advise this continuing with the big high serve? She rarely serves short, Takahashi.
That's true. I also don't understand so much. When you look at ladies singles nowadays, I think in this match, I haven't seen so much high serving in a long time, I must say, because most of them serve short now, and it's very rare. They don't use it at all, and maybe also to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. And the reason they don't serve high anymore is precisely what you've just been explaining, because women's singles now, I'm a great believer, has very much gone the way of men's singles, in that the control of the net and the tight spinning net shots is the key to setting up the entire rally.
Exactly, especially these two players. And Takahashi is seeing, okay, I'm not having very much success with this now. Why not go for the net a little bit more instead of just playing it to the backcourt the whole time?
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, from this position, maybe it's also a little bit easier to say.
Well, one just senses a shift in momentum here. And it's always a dilemma, I suppose, for players. You've won the opening game, you're a long way down, 8 points adrift here in the second game. Do you say, right, I'm going to keep fighting for this second game? Or do you say, okay, maybe now, 9 points adrift, it's beyond me, I'm going to save myself for the third and deciding game? It's awfully difficult, isn't it? Because, I mean, after what happened at the London Olympic Games, and rightly so, we have rules in badminton that best effort must be made, but it is best effort to win the match or best effort to win each game within the match.
Yeah, like if you see the gap now, it's
too much.
It's almost impossible to win. I think it would be best if Takahashi at least tries to get in the rally, so she has a good feeling when she starts her third, because it's looking like it's going to be a third.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. It's gone long. I do love the way that Sung Ji-hyun plays from the net. She has that easy, relaxed hitting style, and you can't tell whether it's going to be a little hold and flick or whether she's going to play the net shot.
It's very deceptive, such a short movement. It's almost impossible to see what's coming, if it's coming a block or if it's coming high.
Yeah, well, game points have arrived already. And a moment of defiance, delaying the inevitable. Oh, that's brilliant. Lovely. One game apiece. Absolutely stormed through that second game. The number one seed, Sung Ji-hyun, 21-8. It is one game apiece, and we will be treated to a third and deciding game. Just 31 minutes to get this far. Here's the game point. But the one that was saved.
Im Damendoppel gewann ja unter anderem TAKAHASHI, ja, und jetzt spielt TAKAHASHI. Da haben die Eltern durchaus relativ hingewiesen. Und das ist tatsächlich die kleinere Schwester. Also Ayaka fiebert mit, dass Ayaka vielleicht jetzt tatsächlich den großen Familientag hier in Mülheim perfekt macht. Aber es wird eine Handstück Arbeit. Umgekehrt können wir auch sagen, was so die Junge hier zeigt als Topgesetz in diesem Satz, das war richtig klasse. Feuern wir beide nochmal an mit einem großen Applaus. Es geht in den Entscheidungssatz im Damen-Einzel.
Well, the crowd here always encouraged to get involved. It's a very knowledgeable crowd here too. They know about their badminton. They appreciate good play, and they'll be loving this final.
Final game, lock off, play.
So third and deciding game. Yeah, and that's the problem, because of course she was making mistakes at the end of the second game. She wasn't really in her rhythm. Sayaka Takahashi, you start the third game and you haven't got that good feeling.
I think it will be very difficult for her to get into her rhythm again. She made a lot of mistakes. Sung was really up on top the whole time, and just a matter of getting into the rally so she has a little bit better feeling.
That's nice. Oh my goodness, how did she reach that? Well, that really demonstrating the point that you were making earlier, Judith, about Sung Ji-hyun. She's got that wonderful movement. She never looks hurried, and yet she gets shuttles back that I don't think are possible.
It's unbelievable. It's so controlled, and when you think you have the points, somehow she just manages to get her racket on it.
Well, that, I think, was very important for Takahashi. Needs to keep it close in these early stages of the deciding game. It's gone wide. Takahashi today playing in her third Grand Prix Gold tournament final. Won the Australian last year, beaten finalist in Malaysia in 2012. That's a pity. She controlled the rally right up until that final shot.
But it looked like she found her rhythm again. She's in the rallies again, not some easy mistakes, all going well again.
Missed it. Well, obvious look of disappointment from Takahashi. No serve is short. Missed it.
It will be important for Takahashi to stay close to Song now. The gap shouldn't get too big.
Well retrieved. Ah, but that's clever.
Great shot.
From Sung Ji-hyun. Both players taking their time. Yeah, well worked. Very well worked by the left-hander. Big gulps of air. Oh, it's super.
Fantastic shot.
Back level. And indeed into the lead now. Wow.
Looks like she's back again.
Yeah, and I think the big difference has been she's been more positive when she has been defending. She's turned the shuttle a couple of rallies ago. That one she drove the attacking shot back across court.
She's been more active in her defense, not just reacting to it.
Yeah. Proactive instead of reactive. That's good. This is an excellent rally. Oh, there's the tight spinning net shot. And again.
Amazing rally.
Brilliant. And that's the sort of rally that can have a huge influence on the outcome of a match. No, going to ask for the court to be mopped. It will give the players an opportunity just to towel down, take on board some liquid. And I have to say that I do like the way the Japanese coaching staff develop their young players. You look back at Takahashi, and in 2012 she had the most incredible start to the year. She reached the final of her first 5 tournaments of 2012, winning 3 of them. In fact, she only played 8 tournaments that year and reached a total of 6 finals. An awful lot of them international challenger events. Then she moved up to the Grand Prix. And then she started doing well at these Grand Prix Gold events, and then got into the Super Series, the elite tier of badminton. That's nice. And I think, Judith, that is something that perhaps some of the European nations could learn from, in that they get their players, the Asian players, to play the lower grade tournaments, to get used to winning, to get used to that feeling of playing lots of matches within the week before they embark on the higher tier of tournaments. And I think it's very, very good for a player's development. And we can see it with these 2 players here in the final. This is now one of the big ones. It's a Grand Prix Gold event. And they're producing great badminton.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think you're right. I also agree, because it's always good to have some tournaments where you also get the feeling of winning instead of just playing the big ones and losing first round or qualifying. I mean, everybody knows that the feeling of winning is very important for the confidence, the self-confidence of the players. And well, you can see here with 21 and 22-year-olds, they're at the big stage here now. And yeah, it's fantastic to see. It's something we can learn from.
Well, that is just phenomenal. What a rally. A final backhand cross court was out of this world. Just wide, and it is the left-handed Sayaka Takahashi who will have the advantage at the change of ends. Well, both players have enjoyed more success from that far side of the court. Is the 3-point advantage enough to be able to see her home? was an unbelievable rally, wasn't it? Penultimate rally before the change of ends. So 11-8 deciding game. And just exemplifying the point that you were making. Play the net a little bit more. That was a wonderful net shot from Takahashi, forced the lift, and then her attacking play becomes more effective. Oh, that's nice though. Would you like to see Sung Ji-hyun being a little more aggressive now from that far side of the court?
I would say so. I mean, her attacking shots are so good, and like we also saw in the second game, she controlled that entire game from front to end, and I think that's very important now. Also, you can see both players are more comfortable when they're on the far side. But I'm happy to see that Takahashi is playing the net a little bit more, so her game will come out. So it will be a close one.
Well, once again, the court is going to be mopped. Or maybe not. Just the racket handle. Oh, here we go. Here's our young court attendant. There you are. Give it a good old mop. Come and do my housework anytime.
Yeah, mine's too.
Oh, that's a careless error on the return of serve. Simply cannot afford that. Yeah, nicely played. And seeing this little passage of play, really wonder why coaches hadn't advised the left-hander exactly what Judith advised earlier on before the start of the match. 6-point advantage now. Or even a 7-point advantage.
It's going really fast now. So
yeah.
Made a couple of mistakes, but I think also tactically Takahashi is playing it very smart.
Yeah. And Sung Ji-hyun is not helping her cause. There's too many unforced errors at the moment, and time is running out for the #1 seed. Ooh. Ooh, I wasn't convinced by that.
That was a close one.
Well, make your own minds up. Three points away from the title. Two points away from the title.
Looks like it's going to be a family celebration tonight.
Yeah. 11 of the last 12 points has gone to this lady. Oh no, overdone it.
10-19.
Oh, that's great play. Just wide. Well, one of the rare net exchanges that we've seen in this final. Was landed in. Well, when you get close to the finishing line, that's when the reality begins to set in. You start to think ahead, and that's one thing an athlete can't afford to do. I know it's an old cliche, but you must just focus one point at a time. Good net shot. And again. Yeah, well taken. Eight match point opportunities. Only needed the one. It is a family celebration because Sayaka Takahashi has won the women's singles after big sister Ayaka Takahashi had won the women's doubles. Absolute delight in beating the #1 seed Sung Ji-hyun in 3 games. 21-12 in the deciding game. 52 minutes of pulsating badminton. Well, after she dropped the second game 21-8, we had our doubts as to whether she'd be able to come back in the decider. Our questions have been emphatically answered. 21-12 in the deciding game. What a brilliant, brilliant women's singles final. This, the match points, the slice, the round the head slice straight. She played so many cross court that perhaps Sung Ji-hyun was waiting for the cross court shot and deceived therefore by the straight one. Well, sister on court to congratulate her. Well, I can't think of this ever happening before. Sisters winning different disciplines in the same tournament. History has been made, but we can reflect back on the game and enjoy some of the highlights from that incredible women's singles.